Today's video, we're going to talk about the video partners on the display network, or as you probably seen it listed there under networks when you are looking at your YouTube ad campaigns under the settings. This video is going to tell you whether or not to do it. As the title shows, the answer is sometimes, and as much as I hate it depends and sometimes type of answers to everything, this isn't going to be the bullshit type of thing you hear from other people when they say it depends, which gives you zero anything to work upon. There's certain distinct instances where this is going to work and others where it won't, and you're going to know which one is which by time you've heard how to tell which one is which for your company by the end of the video. There's certain situations, like I said, it works considerably better to use the video partners, which is a little bit surprising because, you know, like with Google Display Network, it doesn't work to usually run, you know, like audience expansion, that kind of thing. And on Google search campaigns, a lot of times the search partners don't work. But video partners on the display network are an animal of its own, and it works at a, you know, fairly high rate, just not all the time. So you shouldn't just give up on them right away. And I'm going to go through what the instances are where we had it actually did work out, where it didn't work out. And the actual difference in ROI that we've seen as well with that. And then of course, what kind of basic instances where it always works, where it doesn't basically ever, almost always ever work as well. So that said, I'll get into the content. So if you are running a YouTube campaign right now, you probably have seen this and trying to decide if you're going to keep the video partners on the display network or just run YouTube by itself. All campaigns have this activated by default, by the way, so if you didn't know anything about this and you just stumbled upon this video, you need to look into this because this can drastically drop the ROI potential of your campaign if you don't have this selected, or sorry, unselected when it's not working for your particular market. That said, the marketing objective set up on your YouTube campaign, if it's set up as drive conversions, you cannot shut off video partners on the display network. So if you were wondering how to shut it off or why can't I shut it off in that instance, which marketing objective is under the settings, by the way, it's what you have to select when you set up the campaign, and you can't actually change the objective once the campaign is established. You just got to go ahead and set up a new campaign if you want a different objective set up for your and with your YouTube video campaign. But if you got, again, as the marketing objective, if you chose drive conversions when you set up that video campaign, under networks, where it says video partners in the display network, it's grayed out and it's checked. It's checked and grayed out, so you can't unselect it. So that may piss you off enough to where you want to go and you're thinking to go set up a new campaign. So you can set up something, anything else besides drive conversions, so that you could shut off video partners itself. The problem is non-objective based campaigns, or campaigns where you're not using drive conversions as the marketing objective, a lot of times don't work as well as campaigns set up with drive conversions as the marketing objective. So it's kind of like you have to pick the worst of the two evils. Drive conversion campaigns generally work better, but you get video partners which kind of suck. Not in all markets, but in a lot of markets, most markets. Or you could run a campaign without drive conversions, like no marketing objective, so the campaign's going to try to do less of just driving you conversions, but at least you don't have to target the video partners and get all that extra waste in your campaign when you know you've got to show up on YouTube to be able to be relevant and get a buyer in your niche and with what you're selling. So I just simply recommend testing it both ways. This is where the kind of the sometimes or depends comes in, but this is so easy to do. Set up one campaign with drive conversions, set up one without it. See what happens. On the one without it, of course, uncheck video partners on the display network and just see how the campaigns perform. I've been surprised many times where one works over the other, or I didn't think that would be the case. So, whereas I want to give you a tried and true way to know if you should use video partners on the display network for yourself up front without testing it, I can't give you this situation it works, this situation it doesn't work, unfortunately. That said, I'll give you a couple examples here. We sold a a toolbox, like the big Snap-on toolboxes where it's a big tool chest and then you can work on, they have a workbench on top. It was a product like that a client was selling. And in that market, we would show up, which if you want to know how to make money with video ads, you should check out my other videos. But one thing we always do to make money with video ads is we target other competitors' channels. So if somebody was watching a video about Snap-on, being one of their main competitors for Snap-on, we would have our video ad show up, a sizzle video, a sizzle reel video, which highlights the best features and differentiators of that product, while they're watching the video review of the Snap-on product. To scavenge that user who's considering buying a Snap-on and watching a review of that Snap-on product to come to our site instead, which is, by the way, again, a very effective technique. That's like our #1 technique on YouTube that we most often use. Find video reviews of your competitor, show up on the video reviews. If they're looking at a video review, obviously the chances that they're going to buy, at least not even if it's not from them, but somebody in this space, is very high. And as long as you could demonstrate a little bit better value than them, because you are better, and you could do that in a 30-second video, you'll get a lot of sales scavenged from that person that was considering the other competitor. And when that competitor is big, like Snap-on, they work all this, spend all this money to develop a market for their product, and then you come in last second and grab them because you're just slightly better than them. You get all their marketing budget working for you without having to spend it yourself. Anyway, in that particular case, okay, using drive conversions so that we were having to run videos on the video partners, got over three times less ROI doing it with the marketing objective set as the drive conversions, which obviously forces us to use video partners. And alternatively, we had a medical service we were selling, and we got 8 times more ROI running the marketing objective as drive conversions, and as a result of that, having to run video partners itself. So to say how much, the 8 times more ROI comes from the video partners, that's not it. You're getting that more ROI because drive conversions work so much better than using no marketing objective or a marketing objective in the campaign other than drive conversions, since drive conversions works so strongly in a lot of different markets. That, and if you're going to buy a medical product, if you just think about it, it's kind of like losing weight. It's a big enough issue in your life that if you're interrupted with a pitch saying, get rid of this foot fungus, and you have foot fungus, you're going to be more apt to just respond. So if I saw a video ad on another website other than YouTube, when I'm not doing research about foot fungus, you're going to have a high chance of being able to get me to look at your landing page or whatever. Versus with the toolbox example here, people that aren't already just looking at a review of our competitor, the chances are lower that I see a video ad for a toolbox company while I'm reading the news and get to look at that landing page for that toolbox company. Even if I was in market for a toolbox, because that need is not as strong of a need as getting my foot fungus fixed that I constantly think about. So if you're trying to decide if there is any way to know up front without split testing this for yourself, if you could ask yourself if the problem that people have and what you solve with the product or service you sell is a problem that people think about daily or on a reoccurring basis all the time, then the drive conversions is probably going to work better for you. If I could give you a general use case scenario where drive conversions with the video partners is going to work better than no marketing objective without video partners. So it depends on the niche that you're in, and the niches can be broken to, big pain for the customer or a lower amount of pain for the customer in terms of the solution that your product or service fixes. And then on top of that, if you're running remarketing video campaigns, just go with the drive marketing objective set as drive conversions and run the video partners on the display network. Why? Because remarketing ads generally always work. And if you do know how to set up a halfway decent video ad, they always get a good ROI, because video ads are great at demonstrating all the benefits of that product or service, more so with products, and you want to get every last click you can from your video ad, including ones that are on the Video Partners network or on Video Partners on the Displayed network. So in that case, I would do, therefore, every single time drive conversion. So unless your remarketing campaign wasn't working, and then that's the time where maybe you set the marketing objective as no objective and see if that can get it to work, whereas drive conversions wouldn't get your remarketing campaign to work before, if that makes sense. So, and as far as remarketing goes, by the way, the best strategy that I know of that makes money online now today is a strategy that nobody's using because it's labor intensive, which is the exact strategy we use here on our YouTube channel to promote our own agency, where you put content out on YouTube, really instructional, informative content, and you get people to watch it, and then you hit them with a remarketing ad that pitches your product or service after. And generally I'll have a chain of videos that will pitch the different aspects of why your product or service is so good after, because they already know of you at that point in time. They trust and respect you if the content was good that you initially led with, and the remarketing ads work like magic at that point in time. It's way harder to show up out of nowhere when someone's never heard of you before and sell through a video ad. But the problem is, it's obviously hard to put together organic content that the user's going to find organically on YouTube on your own. It's not a one-time event. You got to build up a channel, and it takes years to build it up. But if you get the channel built up over the next 2 or 3 years, you're getting some decent views, that will pull in a lot of business with that general model, and with very little ad spend, your ROI will be like 50 to 100x on that ad spend going that route. And then obviously, with the same amount of effort put in, your sales are going to keep getting more and more and more all the time. The bigger your YouTube channel grows, because the bigger that audience that you build up of people who watch a video on your YouTube channel, the more people you could sell to with your remarketing ads, if you will. And some people, including us, will, as a spin-off version of that, will have educational videos show up for the user and then have remarketing ads that sell the product or service. And you could do that, but it doesn't work nearly as good, even though it can actually be profitable in some spaces where quality information is scarce in that space. So certainly if you're trying to sell a product that makes corn crops grow better, you have videos that explain everything about how to make corn crops grow better in terms of a series of videos. Those all show up for the user if they've watched another video about how to make corn crops grow better, and then they'll see these remarketing video ads that are just look like educational videos. They aren't selling anything after that, and then they start seeing your product, your videos that pitch your product after that. So that's another way to do the same thing without having to build up the YouTube channel. But again, it's nowhere near as powerful than building up your own legitimate channel from scratch. The problem is nobody wants to do that. They want to make money now. They don't want to make money tomorrow. They want to make it now. And if you can't make money now, they don't want to do it. But good things always comes to people that wait. If it were easy and you could, make money now without any thought, somebody else would be doing it. And the only chance that you normally get to do that is when you're brave enough to try stuff that isn't proven already. By the time somebody else has a blog post about it or whatever, there's no money in it. And so then you could go with the tried and true, which is do the stuff nobody else is willing to do because it's too much effort put in. And then you can make money that way. That's my style, and most of the content on my channel revolves around that. How could you do what other people in your niche are doing, but put more effort into it so it becomes more attractive for your market, and then you get most of the sales because you put more effort in. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, I'd really appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. And consider subscribing, as I have a ton of other content on this channel about how to make money with ads on Google, Facebook, so on and so forth. It's all coming from somebody who manages ad accounts all day long as my primary way I make money, and manage lots of different accounts on different networks for a variety of different industries. It's coming straight from the source. I don't sell courses and crap like that like these other YouTubers that talk about ads and so forth are doing, which are talking out their butts most of the time. Therefore, you should subscribe to my channel. With that said, I also got a blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog, and I also write a column at entrepreneur.com if you're interested in more information from me on how to make money with ads and do it in a way that's basically guaranteed to work for yourself if you put the time in. With that said, if you are looking for somebody to just do this all for you, and you'd rather pay somebody to do it, all the stuff I talk about on this channel, you can hire me to do directly, and I guarantee all my work. In that, you don't even have to pay me up front until I get you a certain minimum increase in sales up front for what you're doing. I don't work with just anybody. You gotta have a great product or service that just needs great marketing, and everything else is taken care of. But if we can work together, I'd love to be able to get you subtraction up front like that before taking a fee. And so it becomes a no-brainer proposition for you to be able to work with me, because there's no money that out of pocket you got to pay me. You can pay me from the success that you're having. So if you reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com, I'll look at what you have, see if we can work together, get you a quote/estimate on how much sales I can provide for you if you just reach out to me. And beyond that, if you aren't looking for a full ad manager to just manage your campaigns, if I've worked in your space before, you should reach out to me and see what kind of results we've gotten in your space as well, because we could sell you the ad templates and so forth that work for your market that we've spent years developing and refining in your market already, and then get the same results we got in your market without any of the work, and just pay a one-time fee for the ad templates that we have created and landing page templates and so forth that work for your market. So it'd be a shame to not buy those templates from us, given you're going to spend more money and time wasted in figuring out what we had to figure out in your market than just buying what we have for you and use that. So anyway, if you're interested in that and wanted to see what results we got in your market, reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'll be happy to share with you what we got. With that said, I'll wrap it all up with that. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video where I'll have another great strategy for you then. See you later.